My Lords, I congratulate the Noble Lady Bakewell for her amendments, which I'm afraid I didn't sign. That's a complete oversight on my part. And I think that her introduction was excellent. I suspect that not very far in the future we're going to think of plastic as the new asbestos, because when we first had asbestos, it was hailed as a wonder material. It's highly heat resistant, an excellent electrical insulator, and it's been used in construction for fireproofing and even making clothing and furniture. And in fact, archaeological evidence suggests that asbestos was used by humans quite a long time ago, to strengthen ceramic pots. And so it has been understood as a very valuable resource. But of course, since the end of the 19th century, asbestos has been used in all sorts of buildings. And so any construction before the 1980s is likely to contain asbestos. And now, of course, the word asbestos is enough to stop people buying a property, because it is seen as so dangerous to human health when disturbed. And I think in the same way we're going to see plastic as a dangerous material, and probably more dangerous and pervasive than asbestos. Obviously, as other Noble Lords have said, it has a lot of almost miracle properties, and the things that we can produce from plastics are absolutely integral to our way of life. But its versatility and availability has done exactly what the Noble Lord Wigley said. We have used it mindlessly. And we have made so much plastic that we are now in danger of being polluted ourselves by plastic. We've known for a long time that plastic takes hundreds of thousands of years to break down. And it's only recently that we've actually understood how bad this is, because plastic only breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces. It doesn't actually ever go away. It just gets tiny and it gets everywhere with quite damaging consequences. We now see that these microplastics are present almost everywhere, including in our own bodies. Plastics accumulating in the food we eat, moving up the food chain until it reaches its highest concentration in our own bodies, and most concerningly, in mother's breast milk. And when microplastics get very small, they're referred to as nanoplastics. They're so small that they can cross cellular membranes and actually work their way into our individual cells. We're currently clueless about what this means for our health and for the environment. But if it's anything like asbestos, then a tiny amount can actually be incredibly damaging for our health. Now, a couple of Noble Lords did mention, it was the Noble Earl Lord Lytton and the Noble Lady Mackintosh talked about disposal. Noble Lady Mackintosh said it should be well disposed of, and the Noble Earl Lord Lytton said, talked about safe disposal. There is no safe disposal. There is no way to make sure it is well disposed of. It just doesn't happen. It's still there. We know that we've produced far too much plastic, and it's within our control to reduce the amount of plastic that's made. Now, the Noble Lady Meacher also mentioned masks, and I'm going to make my regular comment about the fact that I'm going to try not to look at any Noble Lords wearing them. The blue masks that some Noble Lords are wearing today in your Lordship's house are actually highly polluting. They are not paper, they are plasticized paper. They cannot be recycled. They end up in our sea, in our rivers. They kill animals, and they are obviously extremely ugly to see. And so please, I know that it's not easy to replace these because, and I would say at least the Noble Lords are wearing masks altogether. And I have offered to replace such masks with material masks made in my little haberdashers down in Dorset, rather than still see them as I look around the house. And so I would say that this bill absolutely has to set targets for reducing plastics, because we have to start now to reduce the future burden. It's just going to get worse. And if we don't get it in the bill, then we probably won't be dealing with it.